Following the liberation of France by Allied forces in 1944, French citizens began targeting those suspected of collaborating with the Nazis. Women across France would have their heads shaved and then be paraded through towns and cities. Biker ladies in the 1940s. A very young Al Pacino with his father Salvatore, who was of Sicilian origin, 1945. Susan Sarandon was photographed on her wedding day in 1967. Linda Hamilton and her identical twin sister, Leslie Hamilton, were at the premiere of Terminator 2 in 1991. This is a yearbook photo of Ryan Reynolds. He's a student at Kitsilano Secondary School. He's wearing a dark blazer and a collared shirt. His hair is styled, and he's smiling. The Video Store in the 1980s. The Eiffel Tower and a replica of the Statue of Liberty are in Paris in March of 1919. Aldous Huxley in 1958, the same year Brave New World Revisited was published. Christina Applegate, the 1990s. When she was just 7 years old, Julia Ann Crumpling was the youngest prisoner ever recorded at Oxford Castle and Prison in 1870. She was charged with stealing a pram and sentenced to 7 days of hard labour. The Hunter brothers conduct an engine check during their 23-day non-stop flight in 1930. Carmen Del Orefis and Betsy Pickering for Harper's Bazaar, 1st Avenue and 23rd Street, New York, 1958. It's an old photo from Boeing in Seattle, Washington, probably from the 1950s. The Library of Congress, 1897. The year was 1932, and Emil Kulik, a 52-year-old former sea captain, invented a submersible. It has compressed air chambers that let the vessel go up or down to any depth and stay still at that depth. Cameron Diaz, 1989. Croatian politician Ante Pavelic, born 1869, died in 1938, is announcing that the state of Slovenes, Croats and Serbs would unite with the Kingdom of Serbia to form a country that would be later called Yugoslavia. This happened in December of 1918. Terry Hatcher in the 90s. There's a little boy sleeping under his bed. His dog is asleep in his bed. This took place in England back in 1969. Alright, so there's a behind-the-scenes photo from the movie Men in Black. It's from 1997. In 1942, the Atlanta Annuals were started by Hale Woodruff. Every year for decades at Clark Atlanta University, an exhibition was staged for dedicated middle and upper-class black collectors to buy the works of new and established black artists. Share in 1960. Street advertising in London during the 1800s. It's about the legendary footballer Diego Maradona at the 1986 World Cup. The Keeper of the Kremlin chimes in 1990. The standard Vanguard Phase 1 was the first completely new British car design to emerge after World War II in 1947. Alice Roosevelt Longworth, 1918. Kurt Russell on the right and his stunt double Dick Warlock on the set of Escape from New York, 1981. An Irish Catholic wearing a gas mask is standing in front of a wall. The wall has graffiti on it that says, "We want peace." This all happens moments before British troops throw tear gas in 1969. Someone's playing dice for money. They're in a London wasteland, 1954. Penelope Cruz and Salma Hayek, New York, 1999. David Bowie with his date Ola Hudson, who is Slash's mother, in 1975. A glass of stout for Donkey London in the 1960s. An American ace pilot in Tunisia, 1943, with swastikas showing how many enemy planes he had shot down. Frank F. Gibson, at 1305 Linden Street, works for the Western Union Telegraph Company as messenger number 7. He's 14 years old and has been in service for 1 year. He guides soldiers to the segregated district. He smokes and is still in school. He works from 8:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. Ivy Russell, born in 1907 in Surrey, England, was a strong woman, weightlifter, wrestler, fencer, boxer, gymnast, and an all-around athlete. She's posing at her home sometime around the 1930s. She was 1.7 metres tall and weighed 60 kilograms. Daytona Beach in 1957. There's a recoilless rifle mounted on a mule. This was at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas in 1947. Liv Tyler in Armageddon, 1998. suffragette meeting in Caxton Hall, Manchester, England, around 1908. David Bowie is taking a smoke break outside the Carlisle on Madison Avenue. He was there for a press conference. This was in New York, 1983. There are teenagers at a game room. The time period is the 80s. Natalie Portman in high school in 1999. Nicole Kidman and Kate Winslet, 1996. Franklin Delano Roosevelt on the right was at Groton School in the 1890s. A punt gun is a type of extremely large shotgun or smoothbore firearm. It was historically used for commercial wildfowl hunting, particularly in the 19th and early 20th centuries. Okay, here's what I see. This guy looks like Eddie Murphy. Tia Carrere in 1988. Escape artist Harry Houdini is performing his famous Chinese water torture cell escape. The year was 1910. Barack Obama smoking in college, 1980. Albert Einstein is with Mrs. Valentine Bargman outside his home in Princeton, New Jersey, on March 14, 1953. On August 1, 1941, the first Army Jeep is produced. President Harry Truman is awarding General Dwight D. Eisenhower the Distinguished Service Medal at an outdoor ceremony. Mrs. Eisenhower is looking on. This happened in 1945. A Royal Flying Corps cadet is practicing deflection shooting. He's on a moving platform that's mounted on rails and launched at high speed. This is in Egypt, in 1918. Dolly Parton in the 1970s, offstage, relaxed and angelic. In 1968, comic book artist Mike Sekowsky is drawing model Joyce Miller for the new look of Wonder Woman. Keanu Reeves, photo by Gail Harvey, 1988. The Crystal Palace, London. It was originally erected in Hyde Park, London for the 1851 World's Fair. German children are playing in a park. This is Berlin in 1937. There's a teddy bear in the pioneer camp of the Leningrad metal plant. The year is 1960. Dana Delaney, 1989. A Russian soldier is sticking out his tongue. This was around 1990. Fernand Meissonier, who was France's last executioner, is standing next to one of the guillotines he used at work. Chinese soldiers are manning a sound detector. It directs the firing of 3-inch anti-aircraft guns. This is around the city of Chongqing, China, on May 2nd, 1941. King George VI and Queen Elizabeth, who would later be the Queen Mother, are relaxing in their garden with their teenage daughters, Princess Elizabeth and Princess Margaret. This was taken in the gardens of the Royal Lodge at Windsor, around 1946. Natalie Portman in 1999. Peasants read books. A book is a farmer's best friend. It will teach you how to properly run a farm. 1929. The fight against illiteracy in Soviet Russia. Tina Turner's looking at a variety of wigs on the street in 1985. In 1959, police were called when 9-year-old Ron McNair, a black boy, refused to leave a segregated library in South Carolina. He later earned a PhD in physics from MIT and became an astronaut. Today, the library that once denied him books bears his name. Gordon Stewart Northcott, the 1928 serial killer, is showing the police where he committed his crimes on his farm. The official end of the Second Sino-Japanese War. General Hei Ying-kin accepts the surrender of Japan's China Expeditionary Army at Nanjing on September 9, 1945. German soldiers are attending to an upended German aircraft. It's World War I. This Frenchwoman, forced by the Germans to leave her home, was able to save only a suitcase full of clothes and her 2 pet roosters, which she's feeding in front of the American Red Cross refugee hut at the Gare du Nord, Paris, 1918. Charlie Chaplin in 1912. The Red Hot Chili Peppers, New York, 1980s. Help is Coming, 1961. The image is a photograph by Robert Doisneau, a renowned French photographer known for his humanist approach to capturing everyday life. Lea Salonga is recording her singing voice for the title character of the movie Mulan from 1998. Nicholas II depicts Caesar next to his sister Olga. Frank Sinatra on vacation in Mexico in 1962. Inside a modest workshop, Orville Wright works alongside mechanic Edwin H. Sines, carefully crafting components for early flying machines. This postcard features Princess Victoria Louise of Prussia wearing the uniform of the 2nd Life Hussars Regiment. The date on the card is October 10th, 1909. Jack Nicholson is at his new home on Mulholland Drive in 1969. Mark Hamill with a beard in 1989. Matthew Perry and Christina Applegate in 1988. Elevator Girl, Martha Washington Hotel, 1917. A meeting of the Samoan Nazi Party in Apia. The SNP was the official branch of the NSDAP in Western Samoa until its bankruptcy in April of 1939. This branch was known in the German Nazi Party for its poor organisation and disregard for racial criteria. 1989. It's a portrait of the Sultan of the Yogyakarta Sultanate, also known as His Majesty Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwana X, the son of Mataram, the commander of the sea, eternal on the continent, eternal in the religious order of Ngayogyakarta Hadiningrat. Giorgio Armani, as photographed by Warhol in September of 1981. A vibrating belt in 1929. A circus woman shows off some strength by carrying 5 people around the 1930s. The Pogo Stick 90s. A 1950s pocket transistor radio. Terry Farrell, the Star Trek actress from the 1980s. Alright, let's see. There are Messerschmitt Cabinen roller cars, and there's an advertisement for the film A Prize of Gold starring Richard Widmark. This was in 1955. Jack Nicholson, 1975. There are unidentified high school students at a jukebox in Tallahassee, Florida. Jewish brigade soldier Josef Wald holds an artillery shell. It has an inscription on it that says, "Gift for Hitler, Italy, 1944 to 1945. Amanau's Hotel, abandoned in Donbai, Caucasus, Russia. It was built between 1982 and 1985. A crossdresser is performing at a nightclub in Pittsburgh around the 1940s. Cindy Crawford in 1988. Eric Clapton and Betty Davis, 1970. Paul Arzens with the electric egg car prototype in Paris, 1942. The myth of the American cowboy, made popular by Hollywood, pretty much erased the existence of real black frontiersmen like Nat Love. In his day, Love was a celebrated figure, famous for his incredible skill with both a rope and a pistol. The black American upper class, inside the Loewendy Club, established in 1897. This was one of Pittsburgh's most renowned social clubs for the black elite, and they often hosted black Hollywood actors and actresses as guests for members. Angelina Jolie in 1996. In 1929, telephone operators are working. These are Soviet prison tattoos from the 1960s to the 1980s. These are winter sunbathing cabins. They're at the Unfabricia Sanatorium in Sochi in 1982. Marilyn Monroe learns how to use an oxygen mask aboard an Air Force jet to Korea, where she entertained the troops. This happened in 1954. A young man in Los Angeles is proudly showing off his flappy white Oxford bags. This was back in the 1920s. Ali's getting distracted by Iris in an exhibition match against local boxer Cholito, Puerto Rico, 1976. James Donnelly, also known as James Darley, was a child labourer born in Shotley Bridge. He was arrested at 16 years old for stealing some shirts and sentenced to 2 months behind bars for the crime. A young girl with Down syndrome. Her photo was taken inside an asylum in England in the 1890s. Benjamin Bowden's showing off the Spacelander, 1946. Biggie Smalls, Tupac and Redman were hanging out together at a club in New York City in 1993. Canadian soldiers are posing in captured German furs and Pickelhaube helmets. It was 1915. Marilyn Monroe visited American GIs in Korea in 1954. The flags of Zanzibar and Kenya were added on December 16, 1963, to the 111 flags already flying in front of the United Nations headquarters. There are SS guards at the official NSDAP headquarters in the Brown House in Munich. Many leading Nazis, including Adolf Hitler, had offices there throughout the party's existence. The Brown House was destroyed by Allied bombing raids in October. 1943. This is a newly installed boat motor-styled Coca-Cola soda dispenser. It's just after the dispenser's installation at Fleeman's Pharmacy in Atlanta, Georgia. This was around 1948. A US Air Force Douglas A-1E Skyraider drops a white phosphorus bomb on Viet Cong positions in South Vietnam in 1966.